Shiva, the eternal power source of the Supreme Master. Her role. Shiva is no longer just a summon, she is now the living core of the kingdom, the heart of its power. Every ounce of ice magic, energy, and life-sustaining force in the empire flows from her bound, subjugated form. How her power is used by her master. Kingdom's energy source. Shiva is kept in a special chamber where her immense ice magic is harvested to generate power. Every fortress, palace, and weapon in the empire runs on her energy. She is eternally connected to the kingdom she cannot escape, for without her, everything would collapse. Weather and environment control. The kingdom enjoys eternal winter or cooling winds at her master's command. He can alter the intensity of her energy, causing devastating blizzards or gentle snowfall with a mere thought. Shiva is forced to obey, knowing that resistance would result in painful energy extraction. Master's personal power booster. He can directly drain Shiva's energy, empowering his own abilities beyond any mortal or god. This bond ensures she is forever bound to him, making her weak and dependent while he grows stronger and unstoppable. Ultimate weapon, frozen apocalypse mode. If his enemies dare to challenge him, he can unleash Shiva's full potential, turning entire continents into frozen wastelands. She would never disobey, as her bonded connection ensures she feels everything he desires: pleasure, pain, or complete exhaustion from energy depletion. Shiva's eternal bond and dependence. She is no longer a proud goddess, she is now her master's most prized asset, forever bound to serve him. She cannot live without him, as her very existence is tied to the kingdom. Her beauty, power, and essence all belong to him, ensuring she will always remain his to command. Shiva, the eternal battery of the master's elite warriors. Her role in recharging the others. Whenever Elsa, Mara, Esdeath, or any other warrior slaves become exhausted or weakened in battle, they must return to Shiva's chamber. Shiva's energy is drained and transferred into them, restoring their strength, abilities, and endurance. This creates an endless cycle where Shiva is always exploited to sustain the master's army, keeping his warriors at peak performance while she remains powerless to resist. How the recharge process works. Forced link system. All enslaved warriors have a bonded sigil that connects them directly to Shiva. The master activates the link, and Shiva is forced to transfer energy, leaving her in a state of constant depletion. Recharge chambers. When a warrior reaches critical energy levels, she is sent to Shiva's sacred chamber, where the extraction is more direct and powerful. The chamber is designed to force maximum energy transfer, ensuring that warriors recover at twice their normal rate, while Shiva is left weaker each time. The master's ultimate power move. If a battle turns against him, the master can force all his warriors to take Shiva's full power at once, turning them into invincible battle queens. This will cause Shiva to collapse from extreme depletion, ensuring her eternal dependence on her master's mercy. The downfall of the ice goddess. Shiva, once a proud and untouchable deity, is now nothing more than a living battery, bound forever in exhaustion and service. Every battle fought by the master's army drains her further, ensuring that she is always in a state of submission and powerlessness. She is not just fueling the kingdom, but her fellow enslaved warriors, making her an inescapable part of her master's rule. Shiva's ultimate enslaved attire. Material and theme. Shiva's outfit is crafted from living, enchanted ice, constantly shifting and reshaping around her body like liquid crystal. The material is nearly translucent, giving the illusion of being barely clothed, while leaving strategic areas exposed in a provocative yet regal display. Every inch of her attire radiates with an ethereal blue glow, pulsing like a heartbeat, synchronizing with the energy she provides. Top: a thin, diamond-shaped ice plate covering only the very center of her chest, attached by barely there frosted silver chains that drape around her shoulders and down her back. The edges of the ice flicker, melting and reforming depending on how much energy she has left. Her shoulders, arms, and most of her back remain bare, allowing her raw energy to flow freely. Bottom: a high-cut, nearly sheer crystalline loincloth, barely held up by enchanted frozen silver threads that wrap around her hips like delicate vines of frost. The front panel is thin and open at the sides, revealing intricate, glowing sigils etched onto her skin, marking her as the kingdom's living battery. When she is drained, the sigils dim when fully charged. They shine brilliant blue. Accessories: crown: a floating crystalline halo above her head, resembling an ice flame, marking her divine status as the ultimate power conduit. Chains: thin yet unbreakable glacial chains wrap around her waist, wrists, and thighs, glowing when her energy is transferred. Gloves: long, fingerless, ice-threaded gloves stretching past her elbows, melting slightly when her power is being drained, and solidifying when she is at full strength. Footwear: 8-inch stiletto ice heels, razor-sharp and impossibly high, sculpted from enchanted permafrost. Every step leaves behind delicate snowflakes and frost patterns in her wake. The heels themselves have a built-in energy conductor. The higher her power levels, the brighter they glow, showing how much charge she holds for the kingdom. Chains of frost wrap around her ankles, reinforcing her role as the eternal power source. Shiva's basic forms in the story. 1. Normal form, standard size. When interacting closely with her master or fellow warriors, Shiva maintains a seductive humanoid appearance. 2. Titan form, massive size. When she is called upon as a power source or to recharge the warriors, she expands into a gigantic divine entity. 3. Colossal form, world-shaking size. In extreme cases, she could become as large as a fortress, or even an entire battlefield, unleashing devastating ice storms that cover continents. If she is the energy core of the kingdom, she could even wrap herself around it like a frozen goddess, radiating limitless energy to her master's empire. The ritual of eternal frost. Step 1. Awakening the ice goddess. When the warriors are weakened from battle, they gather in the heart of the frozen throne, Shiva's sanctuary. A colossal ice crystal pulses with Shiva's energy, reflecting the warriors' drained states. The master approaches first, placing a hand on the crystal, summoning Shiva from her slumber. The entire chamber trembles as the ice shatters, revealing Shiva in her divine form, radiating limitless frost energy. Step 2. The transformation of size and power. Shiva starts at human size, graceful and seductive. But as the ritual progresses, she grows larger, her curves more defined, her body glowing with celestial ice. Her eyes become a radiant blue, and her long, flowing hair whirls like a snowstorm. She expands taller than any being in the chamber, her presence commanding absolute submission. Ice chains wrap around the warriors, binding them in place as they prepare to receive their renewal. Step 3. The breath of frost, power transfer. Shiva raises her arms, and from her exposed, flawless body, waves of pure frost energy surge forth. Each warrior moans in both pain and pleasure as the energy engulfs them, healing wounds, restoring their strength, and amplifying their abilities. Their bodies glow with newly imbued power, their armor reforged in divine ice. As each warrior is revitalized, they kneel before their master, thanking him for Shiva's blessing. Step 4. The eternal bond of ice and dominion. Once the warriors are fully restored, Shiva lowers herself back into her normal form. However, to sustain the kingdom's energy, she remains partially bound in a floating crystal throne, her power eternally feeding the empire. The master alone has the power to awaken her again, making her the kingdom's ultimate energy source, a sacred relic of boundless power and devotion. Shiva, the radiant queen of ice, a legendary summon in Final Fantasy VII. But what fate awaits her in the tale of the Hidden Kingdom? Can she be bound to the will of her master, Ray? Once a revered goddess, will she be reduced to nothing more than a devoted servant? Her icy powers twisted for his desires? From a queen to a slave, from a deity to an instrument of submission, witness her unwavering loyalty and the depths of her servitude in the world of the Hidden Kingdom.